Social shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hit me. Woo! I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. There's some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yo, what's going on, people? Man, we are back in the damn building. Make sure you smash the like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, hopefully everybody stopped crying like absolute babies. Hopefully we can just move on. Trent looks like he is now going to join Real Madrid. Cool. You've had your fun, guys. You've been crying about it for the last like 3 days. I don't care anymore. He's not going to be a Liverpool player. So guess what? We need to start looking at options. We need to start looking at players who could potentially be coming in to fill that right back slot. Because of course, Trent is a massive, player for Liverpool. Has been, since really more or less, making his debut for the club. Gone on to win all of these trophies, do all of these things. And, he's been a really, really good player, man. Listen, we could talk about his defensive frailties and stuff like that. And that's fair. I'm not going to say otherwise. But, this side of the game, someone who, chances created, this is, since the start of the 18-19 season, chances created, he's third. This is out of all the Premier League players, by the way. Chances created from open play, he's 6th. Chances created from set plays. Set plays is ain't basketball. But all right, cool. Through balls, assists, he's 3rd, at this current moment in time, in terms of most expected assists, since the 18-19, again, he's top ahead of Kevin De Bruyne, which is mad. That's actually mad that he's actually even up there, and I think this is what you're kind of trying to, would I say replace? I don't mean necessarily like for like. I don't necessarily want us to go out, and because there is nobody else like a Trent. You can't go out and find another guy who can ping a 60-yarder like Trent Alexander-Arnold can from that right back position. I think it's more about what he can and can't do. But what does Arne Slot want from his fullback? I think that is a key thing that we don't really talk about as often, because the reality is this, right? Obviously, Trent is Trent and he's been doing his thing. But is that the type of fullback that he wants? I don't know. I'm not really too sure when it does come, to Arne Slot, because at the end of the day, we ain't seen him buy no one like that. Obviously, he's had Gertruda, obviously at Feyenoord. Look at the heat map of the two players. You can see with Gertruda, you can see with Trent. Trent obviously comes inside, he does his thing, obviously on that side and stuff like that. But you can see with Gertruda, it's not even so much down that right-hand side. And this is in the season that Arne Slot, by the way, was managing him, and he was playing as the right back. You can see he comes in field quite a lot. Like he's almost playing as that central midfielder. Slot almost wants him to slot in next to that DM. He wants him to slot in next to that DM because he's only going to have one in the pivot. I'm going to slot my right back into that kind of position when, of course, we have possession of the ball. And then I almost create a 2 in there, potentially a 3 if you add in maybe like a McAllister or something like that. So is that kind of what he's looking for? If so, what type of individual, do we kind of, think that kind of is? And when we look at someone like Gertrude, and I was going back to watch some of the videos and, to just to get more of a knowledge, like just more of an understanding, because again, I don't know what it is that he really wants in that position, because I haven't seen him go out and sign someone to say, yeah, that's the type. Or maybe he feels he has that type in a Conor Bradley or Kwanzaa or, someone of that kind of ilk. But, this season in regards to Gertrude anyway, I mean, he's played in a back 3. He's played obviously in a back 4, as well. This is obviously for Feyenoord. Look at the areas that he's kind of playing. Again, that's all central. That's literally, he's number 4 here. That's all central areas that he's kind of, he's picking up in. These are the kind of areas that he's, he's finding, for Feyenoord at that time under Arne Slot. And I think maybe that's what, he wants. Maybe that's what Arne Slot is, looking for. You can see there's a big difference, not a big difference. There's a difference when you look at this. This is under Arne Slot, in his last season at Feyenoord, in just a random game that I picked out. Look at the team shape here. Look at Liverpool's. Look at 11 and number 7. So Salah, Diaz. Look at the positions that these guys are picking up. Now look at theirs. They don't have it like that. So does he want? You can see he wants to play through the middle a lot more. but you've got Trent, you've got Salah. When you've got those two on your right-hand side, that kind of changes things because these two have got their own connection, you know, down that side anyway. So because they've got their own connection down that side, I almost feel like he feels he's been put in a position of, well, I kind of need to play into that. I kind of need to use that to my kind of advantage in some way, shape, or form, which I think he's done reasonably well anyway. And they're two good players. So, you know what I mean? They're going to be able to, you know, to work those kind of things out regardless. But I feel that I looked at the, you know, I looked at this and I was like, yeah, midfield and stuff. Yeah, Trent, he's still kind of out wide, and then so is number 11. But here, they're all in infield. Everyone's infield, bar maybe on that left-hand side. But you can, everyone's kind of all relatively close. Whereas here, we're a bit more spread out. It's a lot more spread out. Again, he's got different profiles at Liverpool anyway, so I do totally understand, you know, to some degree. But again, it's just about what type of fullback do we think. Now, I've got some options, people, and we're going to get into that in a second. Some of them are, I'm going to give it a rating out of, I'll give it out of 5 stars. I'll give it a rating. Listen, I don't think the right back area has too many quality right backs who I think are available. Like, I don't think 𝐒𝐀𝐃 is available. And to be honest, he's the only real quality one that I kind of actually like, to be fair. There are some good ones, but I don't know if they're attainable. I've put some in anyway. You guys let me know, of course, in the comment section as to whether you like these options, hate these options. Obviously, I'll timestamp it anyway, so you guys can skip straight to that part anyway. But yeah, just let me know, obviously, what you guys think in regards to some of these options. Now, let's start off in the Premier League. Obviously, let's start off. We got Rice at home. When your mum tells you she got Rice at home, we got Rice at home. We got Conor Bradley. Is Conor Bradley someone that I look at that I would like to start as the right back next season? No. I don't think he's at the level, in my opinion, required in order for him to do that. And I think when such a big player leaves, when such a big player leaves, like a Trent, like a Virgil, like a Salah, when these kind of guys go, I feel like your next player needs to be of a relatively high quality kind of individual, whether he's at home, whether he's someone that you're going to sign. I don't feel like he's at that kind of quality yet. I feel like he can potentially get to a level, whether that level is good enough or not. And I think he is. I think he's a very average individual, like a very average player, very basic. Yeah, just ordinary. That's the way I look at someone like him. Big up Zabiri, very enthusiastic. But yeah, outside of that, I don't look at Conor Bradley like that. So I would say 5-star, I would give 2. I'll give it a 2-star. Yeah, I'll give it a 2-star. 5-star will be, yeah, I really want him to start there. 1 is never. 2, I'm like, whatever kind of thing. So yeah, I'll give it a 2-star. I'll give it a 2-star. Next up, we got Ole Einar. Now, we also need to remember how Liverpool work as a football club. We know that we don't like spending money. We know that if we can find a cheaper option, we will do that. I do also know that if we can spend the money, we probably would. We bought Van Dijk, bought Alisson. You know, we will spend the money. I reckon if we genuinely believe that this is the player to really take us up a level, I do believe Liverpool would do that. But I'm just looking at options. These are all options, people. So don't get mad at me. Just look at the options and let me know what you guys think. Ole Einar performed brilliantly. Been the best right back this season, hands down, no question. Don't think any right back has been better than him, you know, this season. And he's not someone who's going to get you better assists or better goals. He's just been a good right back. Now, if you got him, that would allow for someone, in my opinion, because I feel that someone like Ole Einar is at a level, or he's performing, should I say, at a level right now where I'm like, you're not long term, and I don't know if this is just one of those you're having a really good season kind of things. I guess we'll find out next season, right? But to be fair, for the last couple of seasons, even when he was at Fulham, he was developing anyway. But he's reached this level where 1v1, I think he's really good. He's quick, he's strong. Positionally, I think he's really good. He can get up and down, you know, the pitch. He's got some skills as well. I've seen him pop up on that left wing for Nigeria a couple of times as well. So yeah, he's one of those kind of, if you're going to get someone like him in, that's to allow someone like Bradley a bit more time to ease himself in, and these two can go battle. And even if you do start Bradley, you know you've still got someone who's experienced in the Premier League to come in and fill in that kind of role. And you're not like, oh, he's rubbish. And no, they're probably both not that far off in levels, to be honest with you. So yeah, I would look at someone like Einar. I think his contract runs out at the end of the season. For that reason as well, I'd say, if you're looking for cheap and cheerful options, I mean, he's a free. If you want to then spend that money elsewhere, to get him on a free, yeah, that's a very, in my opinion, very, very good deal. I don't know many deals that you're going to do in the summer, but to get Ola Aina on a free, potentially anyway, I think that's good business. Next up is Kyle Walker-Peters. Interesting one. I only threw this in there because I've seen people talk about him quite a lot. Would I sign him? No, sorry. In terms of Aina, by the way, I would give him a 2.5 star. 2.5 star. Yeah, Kyle Walker-Peters, he's not really for me. Someone who can play left back, he can play right back. He's, again, just like, to me, just like Bradley, they're very basic. I wouldn't sign him, so I'll give him a 1 star. I don't think he's better than Ola Aina, in my personal opinion. So for that reason alone, I would give him the 1 star. I don't think he's bad or anything. It's just, I feel like Ola Aina is performing at a completely higher level, than, Kyle Walker-Peters. Kyle Walker-Peters is consistent. I will give him that. He's a Premier League player. I won't say he's a Championship player because I don't think he is. But yeah, I look at him the same way I look at Bradley, which is very basic as individuals. They don't excel at anything, but they've got bits about their game that you might like, I guess. So yeah, I'll give it a 1 star when it comes to him. This would be my Premier League pick if this was attainable. I just threw him in there for the sake of it. And that's obviously Tino Livramento. I've watched this guy since he was at Chelsea, and then he got that injury. And then I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. Like, why? Do you know what I mean? It was so annoying when he got that injury because I think everybody knew that he was going to go on. I mean, he's doing it now, to be fair. And he's only 22 years of age, right? But I think Bradley's only 21. And you can see the difference between a Bradley and a Livramento, which is crazy. Obviously, game time and stuff like that, of course. But yeah, watching him through in the Chelsea youth teams, I said, yeah, this brother's already way better than everybody else in terms of you can see the level that he is. And this is during the time that Chelsea had a really good youth team. In and around the Ruben Loftus-Cheeks, the Abrahams, and all these kind of Hudson-Odois and all these kind of guys, right? Like that era was a peak Premier League era of youth players, and he's a part of that. For me now, he's reached a level where I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely sign it. If he was attainable, he's the guy I would go and sign. So I'll give that a 5 star straight away. I think he's brilliant. He can play left back. He can play right back. I feel like he's got all the aspects of what you would want from your right back. Good on the ball, good off the ball, positional awareness, IQ, passing, tackling, everything. For me, he has everything I would want to see if I was just looking at not like a specialist like a Trent where, yeah, if you could do that, obviously if you have that, then that's great. But if I'm just talking right back, for me, Livramento would be my pick, if I had to pick a right back. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be attainable. But you never know. Stranger things have happened, man. Stranger things have happened. Pedro Porro, threw him in there as well. Do I think it's a good option? Not really. But going forward, he does offer me something. So I do look at him and think, okay. It's a bit funny because when you look at all of these Premier League options, you got Livramento, Kyle Walker-Peters, Ola Aina. These guys can all play left back and right back kind of thing. And then you got Bradley and Pedro Porro who can only play, on that right hand side. And again, that's nothing against it. It doesn't really matter, but it's just interesting. It depends on what you're looking for. Is Slot looking for someone who's comfortable coming on the inside? Do I think Pedro Porro can do that? I think maybe he can do it, but I feel like he's a typical overlapping outside type of right back. Get him on the outside, he can whip a ball in. He's got very good technique, I feel. Good passing quality. Obviously not good as Trent, but he's got good enough passing quality. Going forward, I think he is good. I do think he is good. It's just I don't think he's better than, say, Ola Aina going the other way. And he's definitely not better than Livramento going the other way. He's better than Livramento going forward though. But going the other way, and just in terms of a balance of a right back, for me, nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't personally. So I'll give him I think he's a good player though. I'll give him a 2 star. Now we're looking at some other options around the world. Obviously we've got the Frimpong one. This seems to be the one that's gathering the most pace. This, from what I'm seeing from the journals and things like that, it looks like he might be the player that Liverpool, potentially go in for. For me, if we get him, I want to see what this looks like. I really do, because for me, when I look at Frimpong in the last 2 seasons, he has not played as a right back. His heat map is from this season. All the heat maps, by the way, they're all from this season. That's not a heat map of a right back. I'll show you a heat map of a right back. That's the heat map of a right back. That's what a right back looks like. That does not look like a right back to me. So I'm just wondering as to, it's not even about not being able to play there. It's, if you've got someone who does this and this is what they excel at, why would you get them doing something else? That's my only thing. Listen, it could work. I'm not saying that Slot doesn't know what he's doing. He might know, listen, I've got a way to be able to use someone like a Frimpong. Cool, no worries. But I just think, again, I look at Frimpong and think, I'm going to give it a 2-star. Not because I don't think the player's good. I think Frimpong is actually good. But he's just not really my pick, if I'm being totally honest with you. He just really isn't my pick. Obviously, you got Gertrude. You got Gertrude as well. Could we pluck him away from, RB Leipzig this season? I don't think he's been too great this season for RB Leipzig in the little I've seen of him. But he knows on the slot. He knows the system. Can play all across the back four. Very versatile. He's good on the ball. Comfortable, in playing in that kind of midfield area. Comfortable playing out wide as well. Like I said, him knowing Arne Slot and the way that Arne Slot wants to play is a massive factor, because then you don't have to worry about trying to find someone and then trying to figure out this guy is plug and play for someone like Arne Slot, right? So in that sense, I would say I'll give this one a 3-star. I'll give this one a 3-star, 3 out of 5, because of that, because I do think it will be a lot more plug and play, with someone, like him. But yeah, he'll be an interesting one. I don't know if we'll be able to pluck him away from RB Leipzig, but again, let's wait, and see. Koundé, Barcelona. I think he's been good this season. Solid right back. Yeah, he's a solid right back, but he can play centre back as well. Again, the versatility, will Slot potentially look at that? Maybe kill 2 birds with 1 stone, in terms of, when he's trying to look for players. I believe he's only got a couple of years left of his deal. I don't know if they've been able to get him back at the table in order for him to sign that deal. So again, could be, something to potentially look at. I like Koundé. I definitely would sign him, to be fair. Let me not even lie. So yeah, I'll give him 4-star. I'll give him a 4-star. Obviously we got Arno Martinez, Girona right back. I think I've done a player watch on him before, to be fair. Good player, very, very good player. This season has been a bit interesting, I would say, for someone like him, and Girona, to be fair, obviously being in the Champions League and all of that kind of stuff. But in a general sense, I think players like him, don't get twisted. Like I say, he is a good player. Like maybe I should have started off differently. He is a good player, right? And I wouldn't mind signing someone like him. But, and there's always a but, right? But I do look at him and just think, I wonder. Like I genuinely wonder. He's in that kind of 𝐒𝐈𝐊𝐄𝐻 mode. But to be fair, 𝐒𝐈𝐊𝐄𝐻 was cold. He was cold. So maybe But he is quite complete in what he is. In my opinion, I still think Livramento is better, but I think they're in the same similar mode in terms of obviously not being able to play left back, but in terms of as a fullback, they are quite complete or they're quite well rounded, shall I say. They've got all facets of the game, going forward, coming back, positional awareness, all that kind of stuff. You can see, obviously, of course, coming infield. Sometimes he's appeared as a right winger this season, right midfielder, right back. Like he can play all up and down that right-hand side. He's got energy, he's got lungs for days. So I do think, yeah, you could potentially get someone like him in. Yeah, man, I don't know. He's quick, can dictate the speed of play. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. What would I try and potentially give him? He's a composed individual, good first touch, good control. What? I'll give him 4-star. I'll give him a 4-star. I'll give Martinez a 4-star. Van der Sar, obviously playing for Monaco over in Ligue 1. Van der Sar, I feel like he had more hype a while ago. I've not seen too much of him this season. So from what I can remember of Van der Sar, or like from the videos I watched of him before, I used to think, yeah, no, he's actually a pretty decent player. Like he is genuinely a decent right back. Can get up and down that right hand side. He does offer that threat going forward. So again, there is that. But excuse me. I just don't know if Arne Slot would suit him. That's the only thing I look at. I always look at these things like, would you suit what we're trying to do? I actually think he would suit more of a Tottenham, actually. Because I feel like he's in the same similar mold to like a Pedro Porro, in my personal opinion. You know, I feel like he's a better defender than Porro, though. But I feel like they're in the same kind of similar mold, you know, so to speak. 1 star. I get that one a 1 star. I can't really think of, I wouldn't go any higher than that. And then we got Martin Fernandez of Porto. Again, I feel like just like our Martinez, just like Livramento, I feel like he's another well-rounded individual. He's young though, so I don't think he's ready like Martinez or Livramento is. So if you get him in, you're just gonna have 2 young right backs for no reason, or like really young, you know, and inexperienced. So I'll give that one I think he's a good player though, and I think he's got bags of potential. So I would say 2. I'll give him a 2 star in that kind of regards. But if we're just talking purely talent, I think he's got a higher talent than Conor Bradley, most definitely, last but not least, we have got Javero Reed. Recently did a player vlog on him. For me, I've only really seen him, I think, like twice this season, so I don't really know too much of him. Obviously, at Feyenoord, watch him in the Champions League. Looks like he's a very techie individual, got very good ball control, very good ball skills. Technical ability is definitely there, but I think he's only about 17 years of age. So for that, I'll give it like a 1 star. And I just don't think that Liverpool, the type of club to necessarily not waste money, because he's still a decent prospect, but unless they genuinely believe in Bradley and Bradley's going to be the guy, then I just don't think they would sign someone, you know, like him. But stranger things have happened, man. Stranger things have happened. But guys, let me know in the chat, man. Let me know in the comment section. Who's the right back that you guys want? You know what? Let me know who you want, and then underneath put who do you actually think we will sign. So you can't use Hakimi. I'll just take that off the table, right? Can't use Hakimi. Let me know who you want and who do you think Liverpool will actually sign. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, people. I'll catch you later.